There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. That's the voice of your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, and the Yonkō Table has set sail yet again into the realms of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. We're on episode 4 of this brand new Marvel series of 2022. Still not at the halfway point yet. There's a total of 9 episodes of She-Hulk, and we're only on episode 4, so there's still 5 episodes after this one. Usually this is the halfway point for most Marvel TV series. But we're here to talk about the good and the bad of She-Hulk episode 4, as we do every week. But with me, as always, is fellow Yonkō GrandMasterHoop. Grandmaster, episode 4. Is it here for you? Are you judging it by mid-series finale criteria, or you're just kind of taking each episode? Okay.
Just taking it episode at a time, but I don't think I would call this the mid-season finale for sure.
Okay.
Maybe next week will feel more like that, but not to say that I didn't enjoy parts of this episode. There were aspects I enjoyed, but I don't know. She-Hulk is not doing it for me necessarily overall. I feel they haven't really. Other than, I think, that second episode, I feel they really haven't kind of found their mark with me. And we'll talk about it. But, I mean, I'm not going to write it off completely yet. I still have hopes because, again, for what they do right, I just need them to capitalize on that. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, that's fair enough. So, one of our fears from last week, because you mentioned, the highlight of the season was episode 2 for you. And that was really the whole concept of the trial scene potentially going in a direction that we kind of wrote a better story for, but it didn't go that way. Marvel had other plans for She-Hulk. They didn't want to do a courtroom drama, so they didn't do one. So because the rest of the series is not like that, now it's like, okay, so the first 3 episodes, like what we alluded to last week, was they kind of served as a prologue in a way, or if not a prologue, one of the arcs in the entirety of the 9 episodes for She-Hulk. So the first 3 episodes are just the arc of the Incredible Hulk, cameo and characters. So, you got Bruce Banner, you got Emil Blonsky, and all this other stuff referencing the Incredible Hulk from 2008. But now that that's wrapped up and over with from episode 3, now we're kind of shifting gears a little bit. I don't know what kind of arc we're in right now because it just felt like a random silly episode, and I guess that kind of fits the theme of what they're going for, because they wanted this to be, or did we discern that this is kind of more like a sitcom instead?
Yeah, it's more like a sitcom. I mean, sitcom is such a loose term. It's a comedy, so there are arcs. Like you said, we did complete, I guess, the Incredible Hulk arc. I think right now we're in kind of a grace period where, not necessarily everything will be serialized, but aspects from other episodes will trickle in, but not necessarily direct the direction of the rest of the season or the arc. For example, closed out the Incredible Hulk arc. However, Wong is the lingering piece, and now Wong is establishing what's going on in this episode. And from here, I can either see him sticking around a couple more times, or it's gonna shift because, again, it's like said, we know Daredevil's going to show up, and we know Daredevil's going to have a couple of episodes.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I keep forgetting too, and I feel that's what everybody's waiting around for. I just feel I would call this like the Wong arc, maybe. If Wong shows up the next episode, I'm deeming this the Wong arc. Or the Wongers. Sorry, the Wongers.
Oh God, that's ridiculous.
What, the Wongers? You don't like Wongers?
It's just weird. I don't know. It didn't. I didn't laugh. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Wongers.
Right. You're right.
I don't know. I think I think her character. Oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Janet? No.
Oh,
Jennifer.
Madisynn.
No.
Jennifer. Yes.
Jennifer. Goodness, I don't know why I was blanking on that. Jennifer. She kind of put it best a little bit in the beginning of the episode. She basically said, she broke the fourth wall again, addressing the audience directly, and she's like, "Oh yeah, did you like that Wong cameo? Everyone loves Wong. He's basically serves as Twitter armor for a week." And I feel like she's probably directly referencing, the bashing She-Hulk would get throughout its run. And to some degree, some of it's justified, some of it's, reaching out there a little bit. But Twitter was ablaze the last week about the whole twerking fiasco with Megan Thee Stallion and She-Hulk. You had people just finding it, kind of silly. You had others taking it a step further and saying, Tony Stark died for this with a box of scraps. And it's just, I don't know, like it's just silliness at the end of the day. But I like how they kind of expected how social media would react to certain aspects of the show, and I just kind of I found this fourth wall breaking moment actually kind of humorous, because they kind of knew what was gonna happen, and they're like, oh yeah, but Wong, everyone loves Wong, so maybe Wong will be in every episode from here on out as the Twitter armor, because there's no fault for Wong.
I like that too, self-referential. But goodness, part of it feels like they expect people to really not like this show for whatever reason.
I wonder why.
Goodness. A lot of setup there, but it's a funny joke. But have some faith in your series, I hope. But it works as a meta joke, and
it does work as a meta joke.
Yeah.
So
but people need to relax. I'll tell you that much.
Did Tony Stark not die for this? For a She-Hulk to be able to do this of her own free will?
I don't know. I don't care. He's gone.
You don't care that Tony Stark died?
I do care. He's gone. Moving on. You gotta move on.
Wow. Who cares?
You gotta move on.
Who cares?
You
were in the theater in Endgame, and when he said, I am Iron Man, you were the only one in that silence that said, who cares?
No, I'm just saying, snap. Tony Stark cannot cast his shadow over the MCU forever. People need to take it what it is now. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, as in consume? Do not critique?
No, you can critique, but don't let the inclusion or exclusion of Tony Stark set your show for whatever. Tony Stark is nowhere near this plot. Why are we even talking about Tony Stark?
It's more interesting than what happened in this episode. Okay, you know what? No. Let's give the episode a chance. Let's give it a chance. So, what is this? This part's kind of interesting, and I feel like, again, our talks make the episode more interesting than what they're likely gonna do with it. But we get introduced to like a magic show, right?
Yes.
With a magician who is not that good at his job, but his name is Donny Blaze.
Yes.
Now, the first question, people being into Marvel comics and everything, they're gonna wonder, hey, that name sounds very familiar. Where did I hear that from? The only one you would have heard it from was Johnny Blaze, aka Ghost Rider. Right. So, you've watched Agents of Shield, right? Or at least
I did.
most of it?
I did.
Or all of it? Did you watch all of it?
Not all of it. I fell off the Ghost Rider season. I finished the Ghost Rider arc, and when they started doing the models, the decoy models, that's when I stopped.
Okay. So and I feel like we've addressed this before, but since they're making reference to a potential character like this, at the time of Agents of Shield's airing, was that considered canon to the MCU?
Honestly, that is up to the fandom, and that's up to the producers at Marvel, because
So kind of similar to the Netflix Marvel series so far. Okay.
Until those characters cross over into a film or one of these Disney plus series, a lot of people call them non-canon, which is unfair, because at the time Marvel TV was a thing, and so
like
they
Peggy
were doing
Carter, right? There was a
Peggy Carter
Agent
too.
Carter, Agent Carter,
yeah, Agent
Okay.
Carter, the Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, and then the Netflix series. So I get it though. Donny Blaze, yes, sounds like Ghost Rider, but Ghost Rider in Agents of Shield is not Johnny Blaze.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's a different Ghost Rider.
Oh,
It's
okay.
I mean, he's in the comics, this Ghost Rider. Gosh, what's Danny? I think it's Danny something.
Isn't he Spanish? Isn't he Spanish?
Yes, he's Hispanic. Yeah.
Okay.
Goodness, I can't remember. Robbie Reyes. There it is.
Robbie Reyes. Okay.
Robbie
okay.
Reyes.
No. So then, all right. So then that kind of changes my perspective a little bit on where I was going with it, because I was gonna ask about, did some characters from the MCU appear in Agents of Shield or vice versa? Is it canon? Because I was gonna say if that was Johnny Blaze in Agents of Shield, maybe depending on whether Agents of Shield is canon or not, maybe this might be referencing with Donnie. Wait, was it Donnie? Yeah, Donnie Blaze. If that's referencing Ghost Rider, or if he is Ghost Rider. But since that's not Johnny Blaze, then my next question is, do you think Donnie Blaze in She-Hulk is directly referencing Ghost Rider, or is it just paying homage to him? Because in a way, it's kind of in a similar limelight, right? Because Johnny Blaze wasn't he like goodness, like a daredevil on like but he wasn't that good at his job, right? Or no? Johnny Blaze?
I am not a Ghost Rider expert. So with that said, I mean, I only really know the Nicolas Cage movie.
Those are the best ones.
No, they're not.
What?
They're not good at all. But
what do you mean?
Don't do this. Don't play coy.
Don't do play coy. What game is that?
You stop. Let me finish.
What?
You're trying to be a troll. Listen,
what are you talking about?
Listen, those movies aren't good. So if you're saying that Johnny Blaze wasn't good at his stunts, then I would say yes, because I'm going off of the Nick Cage movies.
Well, in the Nick Cage movies, was he bad? Like, was he like kind of like running on what's the word I'm looking for? Like half-assed?
Listen,
like,
this is just Marvel making fun of fans and their expectations. There was a She-Hulk trailer that showed the sign for Donnie Blaze, and they purposefully, you can't see the D, so a lot of people thought it was Johnny Blaze, and now it's here.
Wait, was it the trailer?
Yes, people were like pinpointing it. Yes, it's not like so prominent. It's like pause. You have to pause at the right moment to see it. Okay. And people were like, "Oh, cool, Johnny Blaze might be showing up." It's not Johnny Blaze. This is just them pulling the mat from under you. I don't think this is going to tie into Ghost Rider in any format. This is just weird. Wow. It's really weird. I don't know why they did this. Like,
you just
obviously
hate
they know
fun.
I don't think that's fun. I think it's weird. I'm like, why are y'all doing this? Not that I had expectations for Ghost Rider to show up. When they said he's Donnie Blaze, I was just like, this is just weird. But I took it for what it is. I wasn't upset that Ghost Rider wasn't here. I just don't understand the writing team. I'm like, unless you're just trying to pull the rug from people. So
you
that's how I
hated
feel.
this episode.
No, I didn't. I already said I didn't hate the episode. I just find this to be weird, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And yeah.
Do you like Madisynn, our girl Madisynn, everyone's favorite new character in the MCU?
I thought Madisynn was funny. I think one episode is good enough for me.
Oh no, she's with Wong now.
I don't know. I don't think she's with Wong. They just watch The Sopranos together, and she spoils everything.
I don't mean like romantically. I meant like just like she's with him. She hasn't left. Like you would think she would just be someone that stumbled. Well, because what's it called? Donnie Blaze has a ring sling, and you learn later that he's a failed student of the mystic arts. He never learned how to properly use those items, and nothing more beyond that. I thought there would be more backstory with that, but no, he's just a failed student, and so
you know what makes me mad about Donnie Blaze?
That he's not Ghost Rider?
No. Why didn't Baron Mordo kill this dude? What happened to Baron Mordo? Mordo from Doctor Strange?
I remember Mordo, but like, why didn't he go after him?
At the end of the first Doctor Strange, he was out here killing all sorcerers. So anybody who had ties to Carmontage, how did Donnie Blaze skip out on?
So my headcanon to that is the person that he took out at the end of Doctor Strange, Mordo, the guy he took out as to cleanse the world of all sorcerers. He took out someone that was using their magic to be able to walk again.
Yes.
And he basically kicked out the wheelchair underneath this person in a way. He's like, no, you crawl. And it's like, okay, man, what a dick. But so I feel like had Mordo ever crossed paths with Donnie Blaze, I mean, this guy's clearly incompetent, and his magic is not really being used for, like, it's not good. Like, it's like he can't accomplish anything with it. So Mordo probably saw it, and he's like, yo, he's fine. I don't need to.
No, Mordo should have came. Just do Donnie Blaze.
You just hate. Cool. No, you hate Donnie Blaze. That's what it is.
I don't hate Donnie Blaze. Again, the way they write this episode, I feel for Wong. Wong is annoyed that he's got to deal with this Donnie Blaze guy because he's just willy-nilly opening portals to who knows where. And I forgot a sling ring could even open a portal to another dimension. I thought it was just like in the universe
to another place. Yeah, has it ever done it to another dimension before?
To my knowledge, no. I have never seen them open a portal to like another dimension.
Interesting.
Which I guess that makes Donnie Blaze pretty powerful.
I mean, then that begs the question, what dimensions what was he opening?
Right.
There's some theories going around. I feel like phase 4 for Marvel has been everyone theorizing Mephisto's next. That's Mephisto. Oh, look, there's the Mephisto reference. And I swear to you, it started with WandaVision. And I feel like it was kind of justified in WandaVision a little bit because we were still relatively on that Marvel high, right? We were like, what was the movie before WandaVision? It was the Avengers, no? Endgame? Before WandaVision.
It was Spider-Man. Right?
Oh,
Spider-Man,
no,
Way
wait.
Home.
No, wait. No, before WandaVision, no. It was what came out after Endgame? It was Far From Home?
Spider-Man, no. Yeah, Far From Home. Yeah, sorry. Far From Home.
Okay. So after that, the next Marvel property was WandaVision, right?
Yeah, 2020 there was no Marvel.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, because everything got moved to
Yes.
the next year. Okay. So yeah, wow, I can't believe there was no year of Marvel. Wow,
There was a
that's
year
crazy.
without Marvel. Yeah.
That's insane. So yeah, people were still off of their high from where Endgame left off. You know, you had Spider-Man at the end. Spider-Man's great. Everyone likes Spider-Man. But you know, Endgame left you off on a high. So you're coming into WandaVision, into, you know, phase 4 proper, and you know, you're still trying to run off your theories from the, you know, that carried over from phase 2, phase 3, all the Thanos stuff that was going on. And a lot of people thought Mephisto was going to come out in WandaVision. That obviously didn't happen, but then it continued after that. People kept making theories beyond just Mephisto. You know, it was like Mephisto, goodness, the Thunderbolts, the Secret Avengers, Dark Avengers, whatever. Like, it just kept going and going, and it just was not happening. And that's what led people to kind of come to the conclusion that phase 4 is mid. Now we're back here at square one again, saying that Mephisto is going to appear in She-Hulk. I don't know. Like, were there any dimensions that this guy opened up that kind of raised an eyebrow for you? Or were you just kind of like, these are just being played for laughs? There's nothing serious about any of these dimensions.
Never I watched this episode once. Mephisto was in the back of my mind. I was not thinking of Mephisto ever at all. Not until you told me about it, where I'm like, I guess those demons, those were like hellish looking demons. And then in the credits scene with the drawn art of Madisynn talking to the goat, I guess that looks hellish too.
She could have been in a hell dimension. Well, Madisynn mentions that. We haven't introduced Madisynn. Who is Madisynn? Well,
at Donnie Blaze's show, Madisynn is called up to be a volunteer, step through the magical portal, and she steps through and has an adventure, and then somehow she comes out at Wong's at Carmitage.
Okay, so she did not. And so when Donnie Blaze opened the portal, he did not open a portal to Wong's place, right? He opened a portal somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
Madisynn went there, and then she somehow got from there to Wong's place, right?
Right, which means who opened the portal for her to get to Wong's place?
Okay, so there's a theory running around, a Mephisto theory. Ooh. And again, I didn't catch this naturally, but apparently there's a theory going around that the place that she ended up in was Mephisto's hell dimension. And the reason why people think that is because when she explains to Wong how she got there, she says that, you know, she spoke to a goat. Goats are often associated with hell and the devil and Satan. And she said the goat was talking to her, and it saved her from a lava pit in exchange for 6 drops of her blood. And so, and another thing that adds credit to her having been in the hell dimension where Mephisto was in, Madisynn claims that the goat's name, she thinks the name was Jake. Mind you, Madisynn is a little drunk. And, well, not a little drunk. She's kind of wasted. She is stumbling over herself, and she's slurring her words. She's all over the place. So she believes the goat, the talking goat's name was Jake. But because she's drunk, some people are thinking that she might be misremembering the actual name of the goat. So the goat's name might not be Jake, but it might actually be Jack. And Jack is one of the aliases of Mephisto. Is that a reach? Listen, we've done this song and dance since WandaVision. I think it's a reach. Had this been in WandaVision, I would have been all for it. I would have been like, yeah, Kevin Feige laying out the little breadcrumbs and the seeds and everything for all these wild theories. It's crazy. I love it. I'm not here for it. It could it be? I mean, it could, but I've lost all hope after a while. I don't think Mephisto was in any Phase 4 project whatsoever. In hints and Easter eggs, like in nothing.
I just don't care. They've been doing this forever. I don't care about Mephisto. I just don't care.
That's strike 2 for your I don't care shots.
I just don't care. It's like, just give me this series. But if they're just, again, if it's just a rug pull, because I'm kind of over the Marvel rug pulls, which they've been doing a lot lately, specifically with WandaVision, like with the Pietro thing too, with Evan Peters. Yeah, I just want to watch She-Hulk. I want to see what's going on with She-Hulk. If it's Mephisto, great. I really hope he lives up to all the theories and the hype settled around him. If it's not, great. I hope there's a great She-Hulk show, but I haven't found a great She-Hulk episode yet. So it's like, what are y'all doing? So that's how I feel.
I see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm tired. I'm exhausted from the MCU at this point.
I get it.
But yeah, so Madisynn's the new favorite of the MCU. People seem, at least on social media, people seem to be very excited about her. Or I guess not excited, they just like her. Like her. They like her silliness, I guess. And she's a drunkard and she's just saying these weird, dumb things all the time. That's just who she is, and Wong doesn't want to deal with it at all. She keeps spoiling The Sopranos for him, and he's very upset. That part was funny.
I enjoyed Madisynn and Wong. They were funny. I enjoyed that.
Right.
Wongers.
What is that in reference to?
Nothing. It's just she calls them Wongers.
I hate that. Oh God.
She's a woo girl. She's a woo girl. If you know How I Met Your Mother.
A woo? Nope, I do not.
That's okay. She's a woo girl.
Interesting. Funny enough, as we speak on She-Hulk, we have a discourse in the Discord of one of our fellow supernovas basically saying that he vomited at this episode of She-Hulk. But you have to join our discourse. Our Discord to see what that discourse is all about. I just find that very funny. I got the notification on my phone right now.
I just saw it too.
This person hates Marvel in general, but I just find it funny that we're kind of not crapping on She-Hulk, but the timing is perfect.
I mean, we still have yet to talk about actual She-Hulk. We've just been talking about the greater Marvel.
Well,
we haven't talked about Jen's story in all of this.
Well, Jen has I guess the dating arc in this episode, right? Well, there's technically 2 arcs going on, right? You have one arc where it's Wong wanting to, I guess, get a cease and desist or an order entered against Donny Blaze for tampering with the mystical arts and opening dimensions that he's not supposed to be doing. So you have some silliness with Jen and Wong going to court, trying to basically get an injunction on this man so that he stops clowning around. I'm telling you, being an attorney, they made a complete mockery of the damn judicial system in this episode. I mean, they've been doing it already. Wait, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Oh no. I figured a lot of the courtroom stuff is not, like up to par.
It's just like, I get it. It's made for TV, but I guess I don't know. It's just dumb. I hate where the judge is saying, do you have a witness that can attest to these things that Donny Blaze has done? And Jen's like, I don't have a witness, but then Wong opens a portal and brings Madisynn through, and they put Madisynn on the stand, I'm sorry, the judge would have thrown the gavel at both. She would have disbarred Jen on the spot. Like, who the hell is
and
this?
she had a drink in her hand.
She had a drink. She was so disrespectful. And well, I mean, she wasn't disrespectful, but she was disrespectful in the courtroom. No judge with any self-respect would have let that farce continue. I get it. It's a comedy. It's played for laughs. It's made for, silly jokes and whatnot. But mind you, Daredevil takes place in the same universe. I refuse.
We don't know which aspects of Daredevil are being brought over, but
the judicial system in the Netflix series is not canon.
And again, listen, this is my whole thing. I like that it's a comedy. I just wish it was like maybe an HBO comedy that where
has wit
has wit and they keep the realism. Like, don't substitute realism for a quick laugh. Madisynn being in the court drunk is funny. It was funny.
It was.
Because it's ridiculous to think that this would fly in a real court. But I'm also like watching this show to see how they balance an actual like real scenario if a superpowered woman was a lawyer. I really want that aspect from She-Hulk.
No,
and they won't give it to me. Did I laugh at Madisynn at court? Yes. Did I cringe knowing that this could never happen? Yes. I can't get what I want.
Do not critique, only consume.
I am critiquing.
My goodness. And then Donnie gives, flips them off on the way out. Hell no, is that being allowed? Hell no. A judge would take that and say, hold on, wait a minute. No, you know what? Screw you. Jen, I'm ruling in your favor. Get the injunction made against Donnie Blaze. Absolute insanity. But that's the, I guess you could call the A plot. I mean, there was technically no A and B plot. They were both kind of like, given the same amount of weight in a way.
I would say the A plot is, the Donnie Blaze bit bring in Wong, and Jen is now Wong's lawyer. I think that's funny too.
Right. So that's silly.
The B plot would be Jen's romantic endeavors.
Right. So Jen is, trying to get out there, being a woman in her 30s. She wants to just see what's available for her out in the dating realm. And she downloads an app called Matcher, which is basically the equivalent of, Tinder in our world. And I thought it was funny that she used a corporate photo of herself for the pro. That was funny.
That was funny. I agree.
And it was brought up, and Nikki saw and she's like, oh my God, you brought your corporate headshot for your Tinder profile. Goodness, I don't think they said it, but they should have said something like, this isn't LinkedIn. What are you doing? So that was funny. But yeah, Jen she was getting some matches, but not a lot.
Well,
right?
I think she went out on 2 dates, and that was a funny sequence. Like the one guy, they were like building the tension of him like ready for the check, and he was reaching for his wallet, and he just oh my gosh, he just really just dipped on her like that. Like the disrespect. Goodness gracious.
And I think I didn't rewind the scene, but I think when he set the phone down, you could see that he was messaging someone. Yes. I think he was messaging in the app, right?
Yeah. I think he was back on it.
He was messaging another match. Goodness.
But goodness, Jen is attractive. Tatiana Malzani is attractive, man.
What is she doing here? What is she doing?
They're just making Jen seem like
desperate.
I don't know. Maybe she's matching up with the wrong people, or maybe she's not that likable. I don't know. But I think the B plot was pretty funny.
The B plot was funny. I feel like there were some mixed messages coming
Oh,
through.
it's definitely mixed.
Yeah,
Because she gets the
because
matches when she finally caves.
and
She takes
becomes,
Nikki's advice and does the She-Hulk on there.
and then she starts getting all the dings on her match profile. So now she has many potential dates. But as she starts meeting more and more of these people, she's realizing that, hey, these are not people for me. They just care about themselves, and they're kind of conceited in a way, right? Because like that's what most of them were at first, right? They were just kind of
Well, you
like,
had the one guy who was like, "How much do you deadlift?" So obviously he's
he's a
like
gym junkie.
a gym rat, a beefhead, whatever you call those dudes. I remember him, and then I remember the guy who she spent the most time with, who was actually getting to know her. And it looked like it was going well, and then, jumping ahead, but at the end of the episode, he doesn't like Jen. He only likes the She-Hulk.
Okay, you see, I didn't like how this date that she was on got to that state because okay, so like going back a little bit, right? She's on this date with this guy, and she's you can kind of tell that she's already tired from her previous dates. Like she's tired of the same BS over and over again, of people just really only caring about themselves, not caring about wanting to get to know her at all. And so she's there on this date as She-Hulk. And and also before this date, there was that guy that was obsessed with like the superpowers. Like, you got
Oh yes,
X-ray, heat vision. What's going on there?
he called her a specimen.
A fascinating specimen. But yeah, Jen went on all those days, and then she gets to this date. I swear they progressed this way too fast, because literally they hadn't even ordered appetizers yet. I think it was, he said,
Can we split some fries?
can we, he said, tell me about yourself. Well, he said, tell me about yourself, and can we split some fries? Immediately, Jen's like, oh my goodness, let's take this to go. Wow, Jen, it was that easy? Are you, Jen, come on.
What? She appreciates someone who wants to get to know her.
Just like that? You just ask one question.
I think Jen was just trying to, hit it and quit it or something.
Oh no, she was, I don't know about that.
I mean, I don't know. Like you said,
based on her reaction afterwards, I don't think she wanted that to be a hit it and quit it.
I mean, I think Jen, yes. I think she was looking to go,
steps further.
The whole 9 yards, but then yes, turn into something else. They made the quack about, dating in their 30s. But
Right.
yes, when he saw that she was Jen and not She-Hulk, he's out. So yes, she did look a little devastated.
That actually did hurt a little bit. That, the expression that she gave when she was Jen again,
Yes.
like she was in her normal state, and the guy found out. He's like, hey, who are you? And she was, she said, oh, I'm Jen, She-Hulk. And he was like, oh yeah, cool, I'm out. I'm sorry.
Well, see, I think it makes an interesting juxtaposition when you compare her to Bruce. Bruce is a person who nobody wanted the Hulk, unless it was like ulterior motives,
Right.
But people really valued Bruce as like a scientist and his expertise in gamma radiation. Here you have Jen, who just wants to be Jen, and now her value is like mandated by how people feel about the She-Hulk. No one values Jen. They value the She-Hulk. They're attracted to the She-Hulk. It's making her, it's demeaning to her, what do you call it? Well, it's demeaning to herself, her
Right.
self-worth. So
right. No, it's because I think we talked about it last week too. They're kind of well, I mean, we don't know what the motives were for this character. Maybe there was like a genuine attraction for who she was as She-Hulk, but then as regular Jen, that attraction is not there anymore. Because in a way, I mean, he didn't know who that was when he woke up. He was like, who are you? So to him, that's a completely different person. But on the flip side of that, it could have also just been he was fetishizing the She-Hulk, and we talked about that last week. So it could just again the whole snoo episode from Futurama. So some people are into that. It's fine. It's fine.
That's what it is. I mean, he was a buff dude.
He was a buff dude.
Right. It seems like he's into taller women, attractive, like tall physique and whatnot. So I mean, if you have a preference, you have a preference. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, superficial, whatever you want to call it, but I don't think there's any. Own it. He owned it, I think, in that moment.
In a way, yeah. He's like, oh, sorry, I'm out.
Yeah. So I guess there's realism to it, but yeah, it just kind of sucks for Jen. And I think that's what I've been the most enjoying about She-Hulk is kind of just Jen's journey with the She-Hulk, whether it's coming to terms of acceptance of it or learning how to balance it. And she, like Emil told her last episode, you gotta take the story and you gotta change it yourself, or everybody's just gonna do it for you. But then it's like she's met with something like this, and that can definitely set her back some,
Right. And again, that was a B plot that didn't end too well for her. But in the middle of that was where we get basically the climax of the A plot. Yeah. So Jen's on this date with this guy from Natcher. And in the middle of that date, Wong is trying to get a hold of her because Donnie Blaze opened up, I guess, a portal to hell. And again, that leads to the whole Mephisto theory that people have. They think he opened a portal to the hell dimension or something. And he basically let loose these hellish looking devil bats, whatever you want to call them. And they're terrorizing, his magic show. So Wong needs to come in and save the day, but he needs She-Hulk's help. So he brings in She-Hulk, and they kind of handle it pretty well, I guess. I'm surprised Wong didn't use that vacuum technique a lot
earlier
sooner.
On.
Yeah, that seemed
definitely
very effective.
Oh yeah, definitely would have ended things a lot sooner.
Right.
I don't know. Wong is the sorcerer supreme right now.
You can't handle this on your own?
You can't handle this on your own, right?
I feel like Doctor Strange could handle this on his own.
I think Doctor Strange could handle that on his own. I mean, it was fine. I guess it's the quintessential. We must have an action sequence. So I will say,
and this was our first
cool
action sequence, right?
Other than her fighting Bruce, if you want to call that a fight.
Like, I guess a real fight against, she has to use her powers against something to overcome them. I'm not really gonna count the wrecking crew from last week.
Yeah, that was
yeah. She just turned into She-Hulk and said, "Hey, stop that," and then they stopped.
Yeah, no, this one you actually get to see her cut loose a bit. I liked it for the most part.
Right.
And it looked like, she started to like kind of enjoy it. She's been hesitant about being the superhero thing. And again, part of the journey that I like watching is her coming to terms that she can be a superhero despite the fact she doesn't want to be. Like, she can maybe be good at it. So I like that aspect. But yeah, it was a nice little sequence. Ain't nothing crazy. I'm glad it was short. It didn't overstay its welcome. But yeah, it's there. It's there.
It happened. Is
It
that all we can
happened.
say? Is that all we can say? Damn it, man! Why are we here doing?
I
These
mean,
episodes?
it was little bats. It wasn't like a formidable foe that was punching her.
They were transforming halfway through. They were turning into
And-
like these little dogs.
And she handled them with ease. It did not seem like a challenge. She
Oh
has
my
not been
God.
challenged yet.
She has not. No, and I imagine we're probably not going to see her challenged at all in the series. Against her powers. But maybe towards the end we might. But Jen's able to wrap this up pretty neatly and basically got a cease and desist for these two characters, Donnie Blaze and his manager, I guess. I don't know who you would call this guy.
I mean, it makes me think, I don't know, like someone like Nino Desposado would call this. Now they just made it all capitalism. The fact that they can, the Carmartage and the mystical art sorcerers can order a cease and desist against any regular old person.
Yes, they can.
I guess. I mean, I guess Mordo said it best in Doctor Strange. He's like, he gave Strange the card and he's like, what's this? Wi-Fi password. He's like,
we're not savages.
Yes. Maybe they're a legit business. Maybe anybody can go to Carmartage and be like, hey, teach me the mystic arts. Can I learn?
I mean, he has that out on his LinkedIn profile, so
I guess
you could network with Wong and
secrets out the bag, I guess.
Have a mutual connection, message him, DM, say, hey, what's the interview process like? Who knows? You might be cleaning the floors at the the sanctum.
I guess that is what they're portraying here. So yeah, you got to start at the bottom, man. You got janitorial duties, okay? We'll teach you a sling ring. After 6 weeks, you got to give us 6 weeks of loyalty, and we got you with the sling ring.
That's your probation.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were able to get the cease and desist against Donnie Blaze, and the episode kind of closes off with Jen getting served, basically getting served with a lawsuit against her from the Tatiana. What's the name?
Oh my gosh, no, Tatiana is a girl we went to high school with.
No,
Titania.
Titania.
Goodness gracious.
Tatiana is a very universal name that could be applied to anything.
Well, I know you and I have a mutual friend named Tatiana, but it's Titania, like titanium.
Titania. The character we met in episode 1 that just quite literally smashed in from the ceiling with no introduction whatsoever. She's filing suit against Jen, and she's filing suit because she's using her trademark She-Hulk, or rather she trademarked the term She-Hulk before Jen could ever trademark it, and therefore, because Jen's still using She-Hulk as her title, she's now suing her. Titania is suing her for use of her trademark.
Yes.
I'm guessing that's the next arc, I guess, in a way.
However it looks, it's very interesting. She's a social media influencer with superpowers. So maybe she was going around, hashtagging She-Hulk for her powers. I don't see maybe Wong coming back for this little arc.
You don't think he's didn't you call this earlier the Wong arc for the rest of the next few episodes?
I did, but then you reminded me of this. I don't really see, again, I don't want Wong to overstay his welcome.
He's Twitter armor, as Jen puts it.
He sure is, but it's like, if he's gonna be here, make it make sense. So I would like to see the inner workings of whatever her firm's name is in the superhuman law division. I would like to see more of that. We were kind of out of the office this episode, so I think this is a good place to bring us back in, because we didn't even talk about it last week. Do you remember the female lawyer that walked in when they were Jen was in there and they were talking about the light elf case, and a female lawyer walked in, and that douchebag former co-worker of hers was like, oh, she's a 10, something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then she walked out.
Yeah, she walked out. That's she's from Hamilton, man. She's famous. That's Renee. Elise Goldsberry. She played, I don't know if you've seen Hamilton yet. That's Angelica.
I have not seen Hamilton yet.
You suck. Either way, she's big time. She's in the cast, and we haven't seen her do anything. She showed up for 2 seconds.
Maybe that was her whole thing.
She's in the cast.
In the cast for that one scene. She said hello, and then she did.
No, like she's in the main cast. She's gonna have a bigger role, so I would like to see whatever that role is. I like workplace dramas. Show me the workplace. She's a lawyer.
You're asking for too much. You are asking way too much.
I'm not. Like you said when we first did this thing, it's called Attorney at Law. Give me the attorney at law. Give it to me.
Apparently, they don't want to do that. They'd rather focus on Jen's dating life and her Tinder match profiles. Yeah, that pretty much closes out the episode. I feel like there's not that much more to talk about, honestly. I mean, it was kind of fun thinking about what Donnie Blaze could be referencing, but if we just think it's a gag,
I think it's just a gag.
It's a gag. I don't know where to go with it. I was thinking, and again, this is me just, going out there and trying to, rationalize this whole guy's existence. So how Kamala Khan, she's Miss Marvel, right? That was our previous Marvel series that we covered. Check out our podcast on that.
Yes.
They kept her names and her origins pretty much the same way, but they changed up the gimmick with her powers for the MCU. In the comics, she can inflate and stretch any part of her body. Kind of similar to Mr. Fantastic, but hers is kind of more tied to expansion or inflation in a way. She can make her fist really big, her body really big, stuff like that. That's how she is in the comics. But I guess to kind of separate her more from Mr. Fantastic, who eventually we will get in the Fantastic Four movie for the MCU, who does have stretchy powers, Mr. Fantastic. I think to separate her from that character, they kind of changed up the gimmick with her powers, Kamala Khan. So now her powers are tied to the
Noor dimension.
The Noor dimension, the bracelets. Now they're kind of like Green Lantern fists in a way that come out of her body. And then also she's a mutant in a way. She has a mutation. That was the reveal at the end of Miss Marvel. So they changed Miss Marvel's gimmick with her powers, right? For the sake of the MCU. I was thinking maybe they changed Johnny Blaze, his origins in a way. They changed his name. They changed his whole deal with being like a biker to he's a run-of-the-mill magician. His name's Donnie Blaze instead of Johnny Blaze. And I don't know, maybe he likes motorcycles or something. I don't know. But I thought maybe they're just taking the character, mashing it into whatever the hell they want, and then saying, hey, this is our version for the MCU. Will you see him again at some point? Maybe not. But he might be Ghost Rider. I don't know. Because it kind of sucks if they're saying, oh, we're making fun of like them doing that. Pretty much confirms, for me at least, they're never gonna touch Johnny Blaze in the MCU. Because why make a gag? Why make a gag to a character like that if not? You know what I mean? Like,
no, I get it. It's like if you make a gag, it's like you're basically saying we're not gonna use this character.
It's silly.
So
why should we?
I totally get it. I just know there's been plenty of talk about bringing Johnny Blaze in. I know many fans want to see Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead.
Right.
Daryl. They want to see him as Johnny Blaze. They've been really pushing for that. I don't think it's a gag, but I don't think this is the end for Johnny Blaze. Funny enough, I just looked up the actor who plays Donnie Blaze. He's in Entourage. Oh no, damn it. It was Sopranos. Not okay. Forget it. Never mind.
Wow.
Sorry. Thought there was more to the gag.
Wait, is
he's
he
in
The
it?
Sopranos?
No, he's in Entourage. It was not.
Never mind.
So it's fine.
Wow.
So it's just a gag. It's there.
Oh,
It's just a gag.
Anything else? I got nothing.
He's also married to the showrunner,
Oh, who's that?
Kat Coiro.
Oh, okay. Name doesn't ring a bell from what I can recall.
She's a showrunner for She-Hulk. Jessica Gal.
Like the entire show.
Right. No, Jessica Gal's show running. Kat. Oh, she's a director. She's been directing. She's at least directed all these episodes, the first 4 episodes.
Okay.
So she brought on her husband. Ooh, yay.
Oh, yay. Let's spit in the Marvel fandom's face by giving him a name of a character, a gag name of a character that everyone wants to see.
I mean, hey, they can easily go and retcon this and be like, Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze comes looking for Donnie Blaze saying, I see you're trying to use my namesake.
Oh,
there you go.
No, that's just Mandarin 2.0.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's literally just the Mandarin thing. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Oh my God, would they do that again? I hope not. That would be so disgusting. Just have a cop-out name as a gag and then rectify it later.
You know what? I would like to point out, this is probably like my last thing. I'm currently looking at that fight between like the demons. The CGI looks fine when she's in action.
It's just when she's like walking around or just being normal as She-Hulk, right? That's where it kind of looks off.
Yes. I mean, actually, even with when she was on her date, it looked better. It's like when they put her in the suit and her hair's tied back, it looks bad.
You know what's funny? I feel like the scenes that were showcased in the trailer, the ones that got the most flack for looking terrible for the CGI, I feel like upon that reaction, Disney cracked the whip for their VFX artists, and they're like, every scene that was criticized and laughed at in this trailer, y'all better go fix and make it look amazing. I think that's what happened because, again, the Hulk scenes were in the trailer, and She-Hulk in those 2 episodes, or I guess in that first episode, she looked good. She looked right. But it's the episodes that we haven't seen. It's the scenes that we have not seen in previous trailers that make the CGI look really bad. So right now, you said it yourself, the fight scenes were not in the trailer, but they're fight scenes that, they have to look convincing. And to be fair, a lot of it is in fast motion. So there's not a lot of time for you to, really critique or analyze like how something looks when it's just moving so quickly. You can't really tell any defects in the CGI to a certain degree. But those scenes on the date, those scenes were in the trailer when she was taking pictures of herself for the matcher profile, when she carried off that dude to her bedroom. Those were all in the trailer, and they were criticized because of terrible CGI. So they likely made them go back to those specific scenes, fix them. But any other scene that was not in the trailer is the weird stuff that we get. So the scene right behind you where she's talking with Wong in the courtroom, that wasn't in the trailer. This CGI looks really freaking weird. Really weird. It looks off-putting. I don't get it, man. It's like, I understand the VFX artists are going through a lot with Disney and Marvel not giving them enough time to do their work. But this is on the blame of Disney more so. Like, y'all got the money for this. What are you doing? I don't understand.
Get it right. Come on.
It's not that hard.
I know y'all got money like freaking I mean, maybe not as, I don't know. Amazon putting 58 mil behind Lord of the Rings.
And look at it.
Come on.
Look at it. I mean, oh my God. I don't like to draw comparisons like that to completely unrelated shows, but I mean, look at it. Look at Lord of the Rings. Look at Lord of the Rings.
I'm just looking at it from the fact that they're two powerhouse companies that definitely
they're
got the money.
$1 billion. They are not your local indie company down the street with a couple grand making a fan film. No, multi-billion-dollar corporation.
I know y'all got it. I know you got it. So
compensate your VFX artists and give them the time that they need to do this right.
Yeah, that's literally what it comes down to.
But yeah, CGI is whack in certain scenes. Wong and Jen getting along. Oh, and Madisynn and Wong are gonna be a thing now. Not, like, I mean, maybe they might be together, I don't know, but I mean more so like she's there to stay for now, because
for the time being,
for the time being she's there watching The Sopranos with him in the end credits, and she's asking about all these alcoholic drinks, if Wong's ever had them before. He's talking about yak milk and vodka. It's silliness. So she's there to stay, it seems, and I guess we'll probably see more Madisynn with two N's and a weirdly placed Y. But
you'll never guess where it is. Freaking terrible.
Any other final thoughts on She-Hulk? Because this is probably one of our shorter episodes, but I honestly got nothing else.
Listen, there are things I enjoy about She-Hulk. I just can't say yet how I feel like overall about the show.
No way. 4 episodes in, you can't tell me how you feel?
I mean, I already said how I felt. It's just there are things I like and there are things I don't like. So
lay down the hammer right now. Yay or nay for She-Hulk?
No, I won't. I'll let it finish.
Nay?
I did the same thing for Miss Marvel. I let it finish. But I'll tell you what, this is episode 4. I don't feel the same way I felt about like Moon Knight episode 4. I'll say that. There you go.
Is that
I was elated after watching Moon Knight episode 4.
Wasn't Moon Knight episode 4 the weakest?
No, because that episode ended with them with the hippo.
Was that well, anyways.
Yes, it was.
I remember there was one. Maybe it was episode 3. There was one episode that was kind of
episode 3 was the weakest. Episode 3 was the weakest.
Yeah. Okay, got it. All right. I mean, I don't need to consume mindlessly until the end. I could say nay for She-Hulk so far. I could say nay. Could it convince me into a yay by the end? It can. But four episodes in, I'm sorry. Lord of the Rings hooked me in 2 episodes. House of Dragon hooked me on 1 episode. Again, completely different series, but again, when it comes to television, you gotta hook your audience in episode 1 and not rely on just the fact that, oh, well, this is Marvel, so you gotta consume it until, so you can know what's gonna happen next. 4 episodes in, She-Hulk is, dare I say, mid. Our favorite word of the day. But we'll see. Episode 5 might be a banger. Episode 4 was just kind of all right. It was there. Any arcs you're looking forward to in episode 5?
I guess I mean, again, I'm not trying to set my expectations, but I guess the Daredevil arc. I'd love to see what they're gonna do with that. You're
even high. You're setting it high already by saying it's gonna be an arc. What if it's just a scene?
We know. No, they've confirmed it's an arc. So
who did? When?
Yes, man. Where have you been?
They confirmed it's an arc. Wait, what do you mean?
Like when I say an arc, when I say an arc, it means he's in multiple episodes.
Oh, he's in multiple episodes.
Yes.
Okay, so
he's
it's not just
part of the cast
It's not just
Charlie-
a drop in. Hello.
No,
I dare.
Charlie Cox is part of the cast.
Okay.
However
right.
that may look, I'm just curious to see what they'll do. Not that I'm hyped to see Daredevil because I prefer the other suit, but
Oh, you don't. Wow, you don't like the classic suit.
I mean, I haven't seen it fully, so I can't really judge.
But do you know what the classic suit looks like? In
Yes,
Daredevil?
it's the middle red with the yellow appendages.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. I mean, we'll see. I know Marvel's been getting criticism for what's the word that they modernizing the superhero suits too much. So maybe this is their response saying, okay, y'all just want campy straight from the comic suits. Here you go. I hope you like it. And we'll see what happens. I mean, I get what the criticism is when it comes to the suits, but I feel like sometimes the criticism reached a little too far. Like, I know some people hated John Krasinski's suit as Mr. Fantastic in WandaVision. Get out of here.
I thought it was fine.
It looked fine.
It was fine. You know what's funny? I noticed we keep referring to Multiverse of Madness as WandaVision. We did it last week too. Because you just said Doctor Strange. I mean, you just said Mr. Fantastic in WandaVision.
Oh, did I?
And I did it last week.
Wow.
It's like we forgot that's Doctor Strange's movie. Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
It's okay. It's okay. But no, I get it. I can't imagine they have a bad suit here. Like, there's no way a group of people making this show all thought it was a bad suit and said, just go with it.
This is the return of Charlie Cox as Daredevil. Let's just botch the suit.
Right. Yeah. There's no way. You can't have that many idiots working one thing. So
hold my beer.
So yeah.
I guess we'll see.
We shall see.
But there you have it, folks. There's our breakdown, our deep dive of She-Hulk episode 4. Let us know what you all think. You know, did you guys enjoy this episode a little bit more than us, or are we kind of in the same boat? Like, what are you thinking about She-Hulk? Because I know some people have just left after episode 1. Some people are trudging along on episode 4, and others are just really, really hyped for episode 4 and onward. I know IGN gave this episode a 9 out of 10.
They did? Oh my God.
They gave it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, I have to read what they said. Oh boy.
And I know one of their positives was I mean, I'm cherry picking at this point, but I know one of their positives was like it's an all female led cast, and it's like I didn't get that from episode 4. You know what I mean?
From episode 4, no.
Yeah, I don't get that part.
Nikki was in like 2 scenes.
Yeah, and I guess what, She-Hulk's the main character. I get it, but I don't know.
Wong was in the whole episode.
What again? I cherry picked. I quickly read their quick little summary review, and I saw that, and I was like, huh? What? All female cast for the episode? I don't know. I'll probably look at it again after this.
I'm gonna look at it because I'm concerned.
I am concerned. A 9 out of 10. I want to know what episode they saw, because I clearly did not watch the right episode of She-Hulk. But with that said, everyone, let us know your thoughts. We're on all social media platforms, including YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Twitter, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, at the Yonkō Table. Give us a like, give us a shout out, and let us know your thoughts. Share us around, and we'll catch you on the next one of She-Hulk. With that, everyone, I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, fellow Yonkō GrandMasterHoop. Signing off. Take care. Join the Discord on our join the discourse on our Discord. Oh, I almost got those mixed up. Catch you next time, folks.